2017, I was looking to buy my first car, and I wanted a 5th or 6th generation Camaro. Yellow with black stripes, Bumblebee specifically. After looking at insurance rates, I ended up buying a 2017 Civic in 2018. 3 months after that, I bought my 75 Camaro at a national park in a barn in Northern California. Did I mention I now own 2 cars and can't legally drive yet? The car didn't have a proper shifter, so we used vice grips to put in drive and park. Dropped it off at a safe location for the rest of the week so I could trailer it to my house, as we did not trust driving 80 miles to the proper destination. First thing I had to accomplish was add a proper B&M shifter to the car so it's actually usable, and then smoke the tires off of it. First thing anyone does with a new project is get a new set of rims and tires. These are a staple of Bumblebee, Krager SS's in the front and real rodders in the rear. During that time, I made a choice that would lock me into all future plans for this car out of pure stubbornness, which was my torque converter and flywheel for a motor and transmission I didn't even own yet. The rear wheels rubbed a lot due to lowering blocks installed by a previous owner. This was the first thing I did to the car on my own that didn't involve help from anyone else, and I almost killed myself. I knew jacking up the rear end was a safe place, and putting jack stands under the axle will keep the car up safely. What isn't safe is unbolting the springs under tension when you have the car lifted up by its rear end. I ended up bending one of the shock mounts taking this out, and it almost hit me in the face with no one around. I somehow escaped with that injury, took out the lowering blocks and extra leaves, and got the car to ride higher so the rear wheels didn't rub as much. I also removed spring clamps from the front coils. This was also kind of sketchy, but less dangerous since it wasn't my stupidity this time. Aside from the wheels, the other most important modification to personalize your car is to get a new steering wheel. I had no intentions of buying this yet, but it was a Christmas gift from my dad, and I'm really glad he did because it got discontinued shortly after that. Grant won't even acknowledge that this product used to even exist when you contact them. Mid-May 2019, I wanted to drive my car around the block. Rolling around at the speed of sound. This is illegal, so I should put my phone away now. Because this is all I did at the time with my car, as I still didn't have a license yet. I took a trip to the gas station and my battery died. I had to shove the car out of the way from the pump. It took about an hour for anyone to come and jump the car to get me home. And my sister's car had some new dings in it because her then boyfriend, now husband, slammed her door into my Camaro. And I did not say that wrong. Camaro was unscathed. Mid-September, I got a few really important items for Bumblebee: the hood scoop and the gauge cluster panel. Both of these items are significant because these items are discontinued, and I got lucky with both. The dash panel I just stumbled across on the swap meet section on nastyz28.com. It had a few holes in it drilled already for the blinkers and other notification lights. This wasn't ideal as they were in the wrong locations, but I'll make do with what I got. The cowl, on the other hand, was an adventure in and of itself. These were just discontinued, and I was panicking trying to get these items. I contacted Summit Racing Support, and they got me the contact info of the manufacturer. I called them, and they essentially said there was nothing they can do. At least I tried. A few days later, they called me back and said they found 3 and wanted to know if I was still interested. So I bought all of them. As far as I'm aware, these were the last brand new ones on the planet. Kept one for myself, sold the other 2 for other Bumblebee builders. I hope to reproduce my current one, but I haven't found anyone willing to help me. In October 2019, I moved out of the rental we had and I bought my first home. Very exciting time. Let me do whatever I want in the garage. I would learn to regret this decision for multiple reasons, but that's a story for another day. We're now into February. The Camaro struggles to stay on when pulling it out of my driveway. The motor sounds like it has a rod knock, and my dreams of building this up as I was driving it were destroyed. Only logical conclusion was to strip the entire car so it was a bare shell, of course. Surprisingly, not many things were discovered that I didn't already know about. The floor pans didn't have a lot of rust like they normally would, and the car was very solid. The only obvious rust was around the rear window channel. I can still discover more, but we're not there yet. The car is now blasted apart. I have the various body panels and other things the car came with on my shelves, totes, and various locations in my house to store them away. I found a plan online to make a tip-over jig, and I did not want to spend the money on making or buying a metal rotisserie. We started to second-guess ourselves about how strong this jig actually is and chickened out making it when we bought the wood. We eventually sucked it up, and I present my first viral video on Reddit.
Oh my god. Got it.